Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is assignment number 6 for the virtual homeschool co-op. And today's topic is, how do you schedule your year? So do you follow, do you do like a year-round schooling? Do you follow your local school district? Do you do something different? How do you plan your vacations and time off? How do you plan your curriculum around that schedule? So this is our first year homeschooling, and what we have done we've tried to schedule it around our local school district somewhat. They started here in Georgia in like the very beginning of August, and we had moved to the area in mid-July. So 2 weeks in from moving, we were not ready to start. So we didn't start till September. And so that's kind of pushed things back a little bit for us. We are wrapping up school. We've got 21 days left. I counted this morning. I'm ready. We need to be done. So this next year, we're not necessarily going to be following the local school district, but I'm planning our year out in a way that would be you would see in a typical school setting, public school setting. We will start in the fall and we will end in the spring, which means we're not going to be doing it year round. Now, the reason I'm not necessarily following the public school or local school district is because we are going to be moving. We will most likely be moving in October. And so because we're military, I kind of have to plan around the military. So we are supposed to move probably end of September, be at our new duty station by October. And that's gonna change things up. So we will probably start mid-August this year. So we're gonna finish mid-June. We'll have 2 months off, and then we'll start again mid-August. And so hopefully we will have a good 5-6 weeks of school under our belts before we have to pack everything up and move across the country. So that'll be exciting. And I think I'm gonna give us 2 weeks before we start up. So I'm gonna call that our fall break. So very end of September, beginning of October. So that'll be our fall break. And then we will wrap things up hopefully in May. It looks like the curriculum, as far as the length of our schooling, it looks like most of our curriculum wraps itself up around at most 32 weeks. And that's kind of how I determine length, is by how our curriculum is laid out. Now, I know you don't necessarily have to go by the suggested schedule of the publisher, but for what we've purchased this year, that we're probably going to stick with it because it kind of works for us. We'll have a 2-week break for Christmas, and then we'll have like 1 week for spring break. And those I don't plan Christmas. Well, obviously it's Christmas, so it's going to be around Christmas and New Year's, but I plan that based on when my husband gets leave. And then spring break, my husband doesn't necessarily get time off like whenever he wants. It's based on whether the Army wants to give him time off. So if he can get time off and we can go do something, that's great. We'll plan it around that time. And if not, just kind of wherever works best in our schedule. If we're at a point in our schooling where it feels like it's a good stopping place where we can take a week and not really mess up, not necessarily mess up, but where we won't where it just kind of naturally stops. We're not, that we've caught up with certain topics. We're at a good stopping point so that when we come back, we'll start on new things, build on what we already know, and that way it's not going to be like right in the middle of learning a new concept. So that's kind of my plan. As we all know, plans don't always work out. So we will see. We'll see how things go. Like I said, as of right now, we're possibly moving in October, but there's a possibility we could be moving at a different time. So I'm waiting to see what God has in store for us. So that's kind of how we do things in this house. A lot of our schedule is based on the military, and it has caused me to learn to be very flexible. I like to plan everything out down to the last minute, and I can't do that with the Army. So I've had some choice words for the Army in the beginning because it took me a long time to understand everything and get an idea of how things work, and just learn that I have to let go and be okay with it. So that's kind of how we do things. So if you have any questions, post them below. If you haven't subscribed yet, push that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.